Welcome to another episode of Midnight Case Files, where we explore some of the world's most shocking true crime cases. These stories are based on publicly reported events and are shared for education, awareness, and discussion. Listener discretion is advised. Let's open tonight's case.
Some killers disappeared into the darkness. Others make sure the world remembers their name. In the late 1960s, a mysterious figure began terrorizing Northern California. He attacked young couples and unsuspecting victims, leaving behind fear, unanswered questions, and a series of cryptic letters. He called himself the Zodiac. This is the story of one of America's most infamous unsolved criminal cases. It began on the night of December 20, 1968, near Benicia, California. Two teenagers, David Faraday and Betty Lou Jensen, had parked their car in a quiet area known as Lake Herman Road. They were spending time together when another vehicle approached. A man stepped out and fired at them. Both teenagers were killed. At the time, investigators had no idea that this was only the beginning. Months later, another attack would take place. On July 4, 1969, Darlene Ferrin and Michael Magoo were sitting inside the parked car near Blue Rock Springs Park. Suddenly, another vehicle pulled up. The driver approached and opened fire. Darlene was killed. Michael survived, despite suffering serious injuries. And then something happened that would change the case forever. A mysterious caller contacted the police. He claimed responsibility for the shooting at Blue Rock Springs. He also claimed responsibility for the earlier murders of Faraday and Jensen. The police were now dealing with someone who wasn't simply trying to hide. He wanted attention. And soon, the killer would make that very clear. In August 1969, three newspapers received almost identical letters. The writer claimed responsibility for the attacks and included details that only the killer, or someone very close to the crimes, could have known. But the most disturbing part was what came next. The letters contained a series of symbols, a cipher. The Zodiac demanded that the newspapers publish his letters and his code. If they refused, he threatened to continue killing. The newspapers published the messages. And an ordinary couple, Donald and Betty Harden, eventually managed to solve the famous 408 symbol cipher. The message revealed something about the killer's bizarre worldview. He claimed that the people he killed would become his servants in the afterlife. But despite solving the cipher, investigators still didn't know who the Zodiac actually was. Then came another attack. On September 27, 1969, college students Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard were at the Lake Berryessa. A man approached them wearing a strange hood with a symbol resembling a crosshair. He tied them up and attacked them with a knife. Brian survived. Cecilia later died from her injuries. Once again, the killer left behind his signature symbol, the cross-circle emblem that would become forever associated with the Zodiac. Then, on October 11, 1969, the killer struck again. A San Francisco taxi driver named Paul Stein picked up a passenger. But the passenger was not who he appeared to be. The Zodiac shot Stein and took part of his shirt. Several witnesses saw the suspect leaving the scene. Police even received the description of a man. But a critical mistake occurred. During the police response, officers were given an incorrect description of the suspect. Because of that error, officers who encountered the man matching the actual description did not realize they may have been standing near the killer. The Zodiac escaped. And then, he sent another letter. Inside was a piece of Paul Stein's bloody shirt. It was a chilling message to investigators. He was telling them that he was real, and that he could reach them whenever he wanted. Over the following years, more letters arrived. Some contained additional ciphers. Others contained threats. The Zodiac continued to taunt newspapers and investigators, seemingly enjoying the attention surrounding the case. One of the most famous mysteries involved a 340 character cipher. For more than 5 decades, people tried to solve it. Amateur code breakers, professional cryptographers, and investigators all attempted to uncover its meaning. Then, in 2020, a team of 3 code breakers finally announced that they had solved it. The message was disturbing, but did not reveal the killer's identity. And that remains one of the most frustrating parts of the Zodiac case. We have letters, we have fingerprints, we have eyewitness accounts, we have evidence, we have suspects, but we still don't have a confirmed name. Over the years, numerous men have been proposed as the Zodiac. One of the most well-known was Arthur Leigh Allen. Investigators looked closely at him, but the evidence never conclusively established that he was the killer. Other suspects have also been investigated and proposed by researchers, but none has been officially confirmed as the Zodiac. And that is why, decades later, the case remained open to mystery and debate. The Zodiac Killer was not simply committing crimes. He was creating a character, a symbol, a mystery. He understood that fear could spread through newspapers, television, and eventually popular culture. And in that sense, his greatest weapon may not have been the attacks themselves. It was the uncertainty, the unanswered questions. Who was he? Was he a man who lived quietly among ordinary people? Was he someone investigators questioned but couldn't prove? Or did he simply disappear, leaving behind a trail that would never lead to his identity? We may never know. But the Zodiac's letters, symbols, and crimes remain part of one of the America's enduring unsolved cases. And perhaps that is exactly what the killer wanted, not just to frighten people, but to make sure that decades later, we would still be talking about him.
This has been the Midnight Case Files. Every file tells a story, and every story is real.